Good evening, everybody. How's everybody this fine Thursday evening? Weather's cleared up a bit here in Donegal. We had a nice bright day today. Welcome everybody to the stream, and anybody who's watching this on playback, you're very welcome. Tonight we're going to be doing some more of the wiring on this layout, so it's going to be repetitive stuff over the next couple of weeks doing wiring. Chance for you all to see me burn my fingers while soldering live. So I hope everyone's doing well out there. Let's see who we've got in the chat so far tonight. Jerry BVR, good evening. Tom Houston Model Rail, Joshua W56 Gaming, Peter Jackson, Cheadle Heath, good evening. How are you guys doing? Anthony Dodge, how are you doing, Anthony? Andy, Hot Dog Pilot, good evening, sir. Leslie Gilpin, Railways. Leslie, you'll see I've got your videos playing in the background tonight. I've put a pinned comment to the top there so everyone can check out your link, but I'm sure everybody here is already subscribed to you. And also check out my channel member, Graham. He's also linked in the pinned comment. Well, everybody's flooding in now. I've lost the chat. Robert Kennedy, good evening, Robert. You'll see I've got some of those carriages of yours running around there. Oh, hi, Graham. You're not at work tonight. Oh, Mick92, good evening. Who else? Chat just shut up there. So I hope everyone's keeping well. And hi to anybody who's lurking in the background there. I'm just going out of shot. I hope you're all keeping well as I knock over my Dr. Pepper. I'll have to leave that a while now before I open it. Simon Model Railway Showcase. Good evening, Simon. Flymo Chairman 1. Top mods in the house. Everyone behave themselves. Evening, Flymo. How are you enjoying that book? Smallwood Junction, good evening. It's Paul, isn't it? It is Paul. Paul and Paris, isn't that right? Yes, it is Paul, and he just confirmed that. I don't know why, Paul, but I always want to call you Peter. I don't know why. Alan White's in the house. Good evening, Alan. How are you doing? Dr. Pepper, what's the worst thing that can happen? And Simon's off with the puns already. I'll be a bit coughing tonight because I got a bit of a tickle in my throat. I ate something earlier on that scratched the back of my throat, so it's annoying me. Ivan Von's on, good evening. So, usual stuff tonight. Let me turn the camera around so you can see what we're working on tonight. I'll just raise the tripod up a tad. And of course, tonight I have to give a big hello and happy birthday to my niece, also my goddaughter Belle, if she's watching tonight. It's her 4th birthday today. Sometimes she does watch these live streams. I'm known as the train man. And she doesn't actually recognize me unless I put my red top on. Last time I seen her, I was wearing normal clothes and she didn't recognize me. I had to go and put a hoodie on. She went, train man. So hi, Belle, if you're watching. Oh, Andy, Moreland Model Railways in. Good evening, Andy. How you doing? Of course, hi to all those lurkers in the background. Don't be shy. Pop into the chat, say hello. If you've got any questions, pop them in the chat. I'll do my best to answer them. RGJ Trains, good evening. Grace and Rob, how you doing? My mind is still spinning from the pros and cons of fall. Drove 3 hours down to look at a house for my son. Daughter. Oh, they're buying a house. Excellent. John O'Donoghue, good evening. Kieran, J94, good evening, sir. How are you doing? So I got one board completed. Yes, just one board out of the 8. Oh, I'll bring this up. And this is all tested and working. There's all the wiring for the points and for the DCC bus. So that's done. This is tomorrow's video and next Friday's video. So the wiring, DCC wiring is tomorrow, and then next week's video is the points. It's not really about wiring points in, because I've done a lot of those videos before. It's more on the little jig I got from Scenic 3D, which I used, which is absolutely excellent. Can't recommend these highly enough. Go get them. I think it's so good. I actually went and purchased it because they do one for three-way point and a double slip. So I've ordered those. I just have to go and pick them up. But yeah, make fitting seat motors so much easier. They do other ones for different type of point motors as well. So I'm presuming they'll work as well as this one does, because it just makes it so much easier. You drill the 2 holes, screw the thing on, it's immediately lined up, no problem at all. Oh, you've got all 3 of you, Mick? Yeah, they are brilliant. It just makes, like, you know, the way I used to do it, you'll see in some of my old videos of lining it up and stuff like that. And this just marks out the 2 holes. You pop it in, away you go. Couldn't be easier. So Jeff over there at Scenic 3D, great job. Oh, Jake's in the house. Haunted Halloween Railway. Good evening, sir. So anyway, any questions, pop them in the chat. I'm not going to be keeping an eye on the chat that much, but I'm sure one of my mods will flag it to me, or someone may be able to answer it in the chat. I'm sort of going to keep the camera, or not the camera, the phone over in the corner, so I can sort of glance up and keep an eye on it. But I'm going to get stuck into doing work on this. So the plan here is, so the feed is coming in over here, which you probably can't see because it's probably just off camera, is it? Let me turn my laptop around so I can see what I'm doing, because I can't watch on the phone because there's like a 10-second delay. Oh, yes, don't pull it because I'll rip the track off. All right, so this is where the other board connects up here. So the power is going to come across here. So there's one connection around here, and it's going to go along and across to this side and then onto the next board. So chocolate box connectors, just these little electric connectors, get screwed on there using the old 1.5 twin and earth, which I cut down to get the individual cables out. So I need to cut off that tape. Obviously, this is one I've used before, so I just need to cut the blue tape off, because this is going to be my DCC bus, which is yellow on this layout. Sorry, I'm trying not to cough. Oh, Carl in the house as well. Hi, Carl. How you doing? Oh dear, Simon. Yeah, chocolate block connector. It's not chocolate box, as I said. I must have picked up the bluntest knife I have. Oh, Union's in the house. Good evening, Union. How you doing? Model Railway Shed, Dino. Good evening, Dino. How are you doing, sir? Hope you're keeping well. So don't forget to hit that like button for me, guys, and subscribe if you're new here. And don't be shy. Got any questions, pop them in the comments. Martin O'Keefe, good evening, sir. How are you doing? All right. Tom Houston's just saying he's got a video on his channel. I'm sure one of the mods can put a link up to it. Just eating chocolate watching this. So I know last week I said I was going to get my have steam running on the 6x4 layout. I tried getting my steam engines out, and they just wouldn't run with the Hornby Select. So that's why they're not running. Well, one of them, the Flying Scotsman, would actually run, but I must have never run it on that layout because it wouldn't actually go around the platform. I kept getting caught on the platform. So that was a bit of a problem. I'll cut these off. Oh, hi's in the house. H and H Express Model N scale trains. Good evening, sir. How are you doing? Yeah, as some of you know, I have the problem on the inner loop on that layout where there's a Hornby crossover, that anything with metal wheels that goes over it shorts the layout out, which is those carriages that are running on there have plastic wheels, so they don't cause a problem. The loco going over it doesn't cause a problem, but anything with metal wheels does. So, of course, when I built that layout, it was built as a DC layout, so I never had that issue before. Oh, it's great fun working upside down, isn't it, Ian? Oh, yeah, the old hitting your head off the baseboard. Do you know what I do if I'm working on the baseboard or anywhere where there's a chance I'll hit my head? Is I wear some sort of hat. And it doesn't always cushion the blow completely, but it certainly lessens it because there's always a sharp edge of a piece of wood that you catch it on. think I hear my daughter back. So I have to say hello to Becky and Adam in case they're watching in the other room. Give them a shout out. So they get annoyed at me every week if I don't. So I'm just preparing the buses at the moment. So anybody who's watching this is a DCC layout, who's not familiar with it. It's 7 foot by 12 foot. It's made up of 8 sections. This, what I'm working on at the moment, is currently the lower section, which is going to be sort of fiddle storage yard, and then the scenic area will sit about 6 inches above it. Excuse me. Oh, it's Maura in the house. Hi, Maura. How you doing? No, Ivo, it doesn't have. It's my Akira scale one that's going around on it, and that's got pickups on all the bogies, all the wheels. But that seems to be fine going through it. But it's only the carriages or wagons, if they've got metal wheels, it shorts it out. So I'm going to make my life a bit easier and actually screw the wires into this before I screw it to the piece of wood. And where did I put my screwdriver? I don't want to use the electric screwdriver on it because it's a bit too powerful for these small screws. I did get some connectors for these. They came in the post during the week. Obviously, when I bought them, I didn't check the size of them. They're way too small. Flimsy little connectors. They won't stand up to much pulling about. So I will have to get some sort of like car connectors, using something like that. They'll be a bit more robust. There we go. Right. Now I have to work out which one is going to be so if I put that one, that's going to touch on like that. So this is going to be the bus, and that's going to be right. So what I do with mine is I put a little bit of yellow tape around each bus. A few bits along, just so I can identify it by the color of the insulation tape going around it, That tells me which bus it is when I'm working on it underneath. It's just a quick visual guide when you're underneath the board with a head torch trying to fault find. Just take a spin back through the chat, make sure I haven't missed anything. Yeah, Jerry, what you said there about taking notes of wiring is I write it on the baseboard. So where the connections are, I write it to say yellow is the main DC bus, black is the point bus. It just makes it so much easier because, as you say, in a month or two, you'll have forgotten what you've done and why you've done it. So writing notes on the underneath of the baseboard, and you want to make sure you do it in like a permanent pen or something, not pencil that can fade. So you have permanent notes there, you go, oh, right, this is it, this is that. Also try and standardize my wiring as well. Like I have black to the back. Use the same sort of colors for my points. You know, yellow and red for each side of the solenoid, black, standard, neutral. Right, can't find my roll of black insulation tape. I know I had it because I used it on the other baseboard. So where did I put it? There it is. I'll take that current, the comment off it now. Do I have the wiring on paper? I will be making out a copy on paper because basically the layout when it's done will have a little folder with it with instructions on how to operate it and the wiring. Plus the fact I have all these videos to look back on and see what I was doing. Take that down out of the way now so you can see what I'm doing. Let's put this over here so I don't knock it. So I'm hoping if I can to maybe do one of these boards over 2 nights. So it'll take me a couple of weeks to get them all done. But you know how life has a habit of getting in the way of your plans. So that mightn't always be the case. Somebody is cooking something delicious in the other room because the aroma is coming in here and it's making me feel rather hungry. Plenty of effing and yeah, there's lots of that done. How's my week been? I don't know. It all seems to, I think I spent a good few hours in here on Saturday because that's when I was able to get the 2 videos done for one for this week and next week, so I'm ahead of myself. It doesn't happen very often. But other than that, it's been working, kids. Haven't actually got in here much. I think I got in here Tuesday evening and got this board out because I got to do work on the other boards with the divide, the section for the incline that's going up, because I need to put supports where the board split, and I need to lay the track on that as well. So I'm going to be doing that as well. Oh, Lee's in the house, Anfield Road. Good evening, Lee. How are you doing? Oh, it's Carl off as well. Sorry, Carl. Good night if you're still there. Oh, Digger's in the house. Hi, Digger. How you doing? Hope you're keeping well. You're cooking Chinese stir fry right now. Oh, I think I'm going to actually go out and get a Chinese after this. Not my usual pizza. I think it'll be Chinese tonight. Sweet and sour chicken, chicken fried rice, chicken chow mein. Yeah. Yeah, not too bad, Digger. As they say around here, I'm still above ground, so all good. Yeah, I was going to do tonight's stream from the museum because the layout needs a bit of work on it. It needs a good clean, and the locos need a bit of a service. But it was just too damn cold. I thought, no, no, I don't want to be shivering in there. Right, so there's the bus is laid out. I'll do the final connection at the end. If I actually cut that one too, oh no, that should be fine. What I use is a staple gun. Really handy for putting wires in. Just be careful if you're using one of these, you don't put the staple through the wire. And if you've got a big bunch of wires, use one of these with a cable tie. So staple the cable tie down and then use it to bunch the wires together. Well, out of staples. Oh, panel pins. I'll be looking for some of those. Yeah, it appears I don't have any staples. Well, I do have staples. They're just not where I thought they were. So I'll have to dig them out later. So that's a job for later on. Yeah, sweat and sour, not. I think I had a look. I'm just about 9 away from reaching 4,000, which I can't tell any of my family that because they'll all immediately go and unsubscribe, and I'll be about 20 away. So I wait to, when I reach a milestone, I wait till I've got about 10 or 20 over. So then it doesn't make any difference. Oh, is Mick away? Take care, Mick. Oh, yeah, definitely. Off to the pub with you. Yeah, I can't believe it, Anthony. I can't believe we reached it. Right, let's bring the soldering iron into view. Plug it in, let it heat up while I get everything else ready. Oh. As you can see, I'm using a stand, but I'm not using the soldering iron that goes with that stand because it's more or less busted. So I'll move the camera in a minute once I get set up. Actually, what I need to do is actually before this extra droppers needed, so I need to do them first. So let's flip the board over. Everything off. What I'm going to do is roughly draw where the bus is. So it's going up there. It's going this way. Just so I know when I'm cutting my droppers that I'm leaving them long enough. Right, so I need droppers here. So here. I've already drilled these holes, so. And then I think I need droppers here. Can you rewire my power section? No, enough problem rewiring my own. So don't forget to check out Leslie and Graham's, which I'm sure most of you are probably subscribed to already. They're in the pinned comments at the top. I do love watching Leslie's videos whenever I'm working. It's great to have them on in the background and watching real trains. So again, don't forget the thumbs up for me, guys. While I'm turning in circles here. Oh, there it is. And I have written on here F&B front and back, just as a reference, so I know. This is one of these monotonous jobs that you're doing. Why am I doing all this? But it gives peace of mind. It gives great running because you don't have the problem of ending up with dead bits of track. Just a little bit long. All I'm doing now is getting in the droppers, so I'm stripping the wire off them using my little wire strippers. Yeah, that is one of the problems, Anthony, is sometimes when I've got a video in the background, I end up watching it instead of actually, so it takes me twice as long to do something because I'm watching it as well as doing something. Then I'll solder and burn my fingers. I record Mrs. F and Mr. P wasn't front and back though. I do need to get myself a new soldering station. Billy F. Now, editing, I cannot have anything else on while I'm editing because I will get distracted. Editing, I'm purely concentrated on doing it. Don't usually spend too long editing, as you can probably tell from my videos, as I tend to try and plan out what I'm going to do in the video, and then shoot the scenes, and then it's just a matter of clipping them and editing them together. The hardest thing I find doing videoing is my intro and my outro. I say the same thing every week, more or less, and every week when I'm doing a video, I will mess it up. You know, I'll practice it beforehand and I'll run it off, no problem at all. Put the camera on. Mouth gets disconnected from brain. Right, where did I put my solder? Oh. I thought I was prepared tonight. I thought I had everything in place, ready to go. But no. Yeah, typical male problem. You can't see for looking. There it was, right beside where I put everything else for soldering. How long do I take for editing? Not that long, because as I was saying, I have, when I'm doing a video, first thing I do is I sit down and I plan it out. In fact, I was going to do because a few people have asked me this, I was going to do a video on how I do videos. Because I have a copybook like this. Each page is a video. I write the video number on the top, what it's about, how I'm going to do it, how I'm going to shoot it, each sort of scene, if you like, just storybook it, and then put down any, not a script, but keywords and phrases that I want to use in it. And then shoot it accordingly, because a lot of my videos are how-to videos. So it's pretty, sequential. You do this, you do that, you do that. And then it's a matter of just putting all the clips into my software, editing each clip, and then just putting them all together. So, if the likes of the video that I just put up, it probably took me half an hour to an hour to edit it, just put it together. Do the thumbnail, figure out what I'm going to write, edit it, put it all together, and then upload it to YouTube. Well, that depends on my broadband on the day. Sometimes it goes up in seconds, sometimes it takes an hour. I just say something, then edit the ums and ers and gaps. Yeah, I try and get out of that habit of doing it. And one thing I notice that I've tried to get out of the habit of doing on my videos, which annoys me when I watch them back, is if I go, okay, everything I start something, it's like, okay. So I try to stop myself from saying that. I spent 2 days doing 20 minutes worth. Oh, Seamus is in the house. How are you doing, Seamus? Hope you're keeping well, mate. Seamus is one of my fellow directors, Donegal Railway Heritage Centre. That's 3D laser craft. Yeah, Simon, we all have these little phrases that we do, and you don't notice it until you're watching yourself back. And I don't cringe as much now watching myself back on videos as when I first started. I was like, oh my God. But now that's me. Like, I shot a little video before I went online here just to send to my niece, because it's her birthday today and I'm her godfather. So just a little message. And, I quickly edited it. It was only a 10-second clip and away it went. Sorry to hear that, Seamus. I'll have a massive bloopers video, though. Yeah, that's the worst thing with thinking off the hoof, as it is. You have it planned out in your head, and as you're saying it, your brain goes, no, say this instead. And it blah, 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 blah. And you're like, oh. Okay, yeah, I was chatting to Niall today, Seamus, and he said you would be maybe down next Wednesday. Yeah. Graham there at Lemington Station sent me a few pictures earlier on of his layout with his mic set up. I thought he was going to be filming a single for Band-Aid or something. There was that many mics and things around. Yeah, sometimes your brain just, the camera goes on, your brain just goes, nope. Yeah, I do. Every so often I put bloopers in and out, only if they're amusing. Most of them are just me just there going, ah. It's like, hi, everybody. Welcome to another video. Hope you're all keeping well. And then brain just goes, what are you doing this week? Looking forward to see your progress to you later in person. There's not much progress, to be honest, Seamus. It's pretty... I've started breaking down the sections. I've got one section wired. This is the second section. Oh, of course, yeah. Jake, you're next door neighbor to Graham, aren't you? You would have seen it. But hang on, where shall I show the picture, Graham? Well, I must admit, it's a good setup, and it's there we are. There's Graham's setup. I say a link to his channels in the pinned comment at the top. But that's his mic setup there at the moment. Just imagine a load of people in there with headphones on singing into the... There's another shot of it. Yeah, it does look like a proper studio. Building the Blue Peter train set. Where's the newsreader? Yeah, it is some setup. Check out my soldering. You know what my soldering's like. I tell you what, Seamus, can you find me a decent soldering station? Because I'm the little ones here, I keep burning through the tips all the time and they don't seem to last. The one I'm using at the moment is a big, powerful one, which is all right for doing the big G-gauge Pico track. It's a bit too big for doing this sort of stuff. So if you can recommend one. Tonight, news on 10, my model railway layout. Joshua, if your cameras run out of storage, can you put like an SD card into it for storage? All right, cheers, Graham. All right, anyway, I've set this up, soldering irons on. More nervous than ever doing this because Seamus is very critical of my soldering. I think I do need to get some tip cleaner because why is that not? So all I'm doing here is just tinning the ends of the wire unsuccessfully. What's it they say about a bad workman blames his tools? I think I'm a bad workman with bad tools. Oh, Jason, the train freaks in the house. Good evening, Jason. How you doing, sir? How's things across the pond? All right, cheers. Thanks, Seamus. No, I don't have a sponge, actually, Tom, now you mention it. We should get one. The grinder and the paint make me the welder, I ain't. Oh, today is your Friday. Well, happy Friday, Jason. Oh, yeah. I'm 8:25, and I haven't even done one dropper yet. Right, where was I putting this? Where did I drill the holes? All right, move this back a little bit. So, quick clean with the old wire brush. Got these on eBay. Wire one, brass one, and a fiberglass one. It was only a couple of quid. Great purchase just for cleaning rails and doing little jobs like that. Right, time to melt some sleepers. Right, black to the back. Back is that way, according to my routing. Put a bend in that so I don't push it all the way through. Oh, actually, the camera isn't on what I'm doing, is it? There we go. That makes it better. It's all about temperature. Oh, what static grass applicator are you going for, Jason? You know, Simon, I'm thinking about banning you from my channel. A bit of heat. Got a video coming over Sunday at 7 p.m. Okay, Jake. Brian Finnerton. Oh God, what's Lemington Station is doing a live this weekend. If somebody could put a link up to it or his channel. He's always very good. His monthly waffle. He does one for Saturday of every month. Oh, it's your birthday at the weekend, is it? Ow. You know, if you come next week, Seamus, bring your soldering iron. You can do some of this. Right, there's 2 droppers done. Let's do some more. Oh, Raymond Legs, how you doing? Oh, is Anthony off, is he? Take care, Anthony. I forgot to ask how Joyce was. Yeah, Model Rail Scotland. We booked tickets. That's one on my to-do list. It won't be this year. Hopefully next year. Oh, that's Grim's message coming through. Okay, Joshua, take care. Yeah, I just got it. Thanks, Graham. I'll have a look at that later. I don't know if you heard me earlier on, Jason. I was asking what static grass applicator you're getting. You may have answered it and I may have missed it, but. Yes, Jason, that's what I use. Really good stuff. Their sort of layering system that they use works really, really well. World War Scenics. Yeah, their stuff is really, really good, Jason. If you're using their starter kit, just follow the systems they use. You can watch some of Martin's videos where he does it, and I've seen him do it. But in shows and everything, and it works really well. I can't recommend it highly enough. Okay, guys. Yeah, I heard Mum isn't too well. I hope she gets well soon. Tell her Donegal Dad says hello, even though she won't have a clue who that is, and wish her well. Yeah, it is really good. You start off with their like 2 mil, build up on the 4 mil with their different colors and everything. It really does, you know, their layering spray and everything works really, really well. Yeah, that's the only thing is they can't send the aerosols, obviously by post overseas because of shipping problems, even though you can send it if it's labeled up properly and everything like that, but it's one of those hassles. Yeah, the liquid form doesn't work as well as the spray. That's what I found. I've got both, and I find the liquid doesn't work as well. Yeah, do the small size first and taller last. Because what you're doing is you're building it up. You know, the best thing I can say is go to their YouTube, see some of Martin's demonstrations where he's done it, and you can see how it works. Yeah, so you start off with like the 2 mil. You can even look at my videos where I flocked a sheep and a polar bear. And I said flocked. Yeah, once you get the hang of it, it's really easy. And sometimes if you find it's just not working, it can be down to the humidity or the temperature or whatever, because sometimes you find no matter what you do, it just won't work. And then you go back to it another day and it works perfectly. I find that the humidity and the temperature can affect it. I think they said the ideal sort of temperature is about 17, 18 degrees Celsius, I think. Mark is the authority on flocking sheep. Still, they're flocked up all the way. Still trying to say that straight. Right, put the chat down, do some soldering. I didn't clean that off today. Remember, I'm putting these droppers on, soldering it to the outside of the rail. So obviously, if you do it inside, it's going to foul the flanges on the wheels. No, the only insulated sections are obviously where the frogs are, because this is my fiddle yard that sits underneath. So this is all just going to be one section. I'm not going to do computer control because I want this layout to be fully accessible to anybody who comes to view it if I take it to shows, so anybody can have a go at using it. And I don't want to make it overly complicated. I want people to come along because I want to be stood out at the front with this, chatting to people and going, here, take the controller. You want to drive this train? Here you go. Have a go. And then see how many trains of mine end up broken if they fly off a curve onto the floor. Hell, Jason, if you're paying for flights, I'll come over. I would like to go to the States to meet some of you guys, actually. Maybe sometime in the future when my kids are all finished college and I've got some money. All right, let's see if I can burn myself. Oh, that feels, I can feel the heat on my thumb. Oh, I can smell the wood burning. I didn't put any flux on, did I? That's why that didn't flow so well. Of course, when you're using flux, you need to go and clean it off afterwards, or you'll just end up with a green stain on there. Yeah, big time. Yeah, we're all waiting on that lottery win. See, it's a lot quicker doing this sort of job when you're not live streaming. There we go. Yeah, he melted one sleeper. You coming to Ireland, Simon? Ooh, where are you going, Simon? Right. Now I need to do, just move the camera around a wee bit. So I got to do these four. So obviously these were made with flexible track, and the droppers that were on them are on the bit that's over here that's cut off in the next section. So I'm hoping actually the next section I won't have to do any droppers, and it'll just be a matter of running the bus and wiring them up. Sound Trains Model Railway Showcase will be in Dublin in March. Oh, very good. You going further afield than Dublin, Simon? Let's get the train up to Sligo. Could pick you up in Sligo. Come up for a night in Donegal. Bring a sleeping bag. You can sleep in Drumbo. Zara 465, hello and welcome. Recently got into DCC. You got any questions? Pop them in the chat here. We'll do our best to answer them. My system isn't that complicated. Just might look a bit, but just because I'm putting droppers on every bit of track I have, just to ensure better running, because of course you got to remember that this bit here is going to be under another baseboard, and there's only going to be about 6 inches to get in and do anything. So I want to make sure that it is, every bit of track's got a dropper on it, because if I need to get in and put a dropper on afterwards, it's not going to work. Next level up, not so much of a problem, but this one, yeah. Oh, right. What's her maiden name, Jason, or what area of Ireland did she trace it back to? Or you can message me your maiden name. You might want to say it on here, but send me a message. Yeah, that is a good deal on the hotels for Dublin, Simon. They're usually a lot more. Gamble, that's an unusual name. Oh, thanks, Limo. Putting up a link for the membership. I do have membership and Patreon available. Just to let everybody know, I have ordered the power supplies for upgrading the layouts in the museum. I've ordered 2 Gauge Master 4-track power supplies. So whenever they come through, they're on order, because I think they only had 1 in stock, so they'll ship them when the other one comes in. So that'll be here in the next couple of weeks. We'll be doing a video on that, taking the panel out, rewiring it, because when I originally built that panel during COVID, I used all my old Hornby controllers that came out of train sets, and that they're not very reliable, and it's got to the stage now where they keep failing and cutting out and that. So put some better controllers in now, and it should work a lot better. It's on the west coast somewhere. Dude, I haven't heard of Donegal. There's supposed to be a small village somewhere. Her 7th great grandfather in the 1680s. Oh, that's a long way back. Right, let's tin these wires. I'll get back to the chat, guys, once I tin these wires. In case anybody's asking me anything, or... County Mayo. Oh. Oh, Achill Island, yeah. Well, if you do ever come over, Jason, let me know, because Mayo actually is in probably about an hour and a half drive away from me. Achill's probably about 2 hours. If you do ever come over, we can always meet up, or you can come to Donegal. Especially on salad. Oh, dear. Right, let's give this a clean. What time are we at? Oh, all right. I'm going to make this the last dropper I'm going to do on the stream. It's 10 to 9, so we'll call it a day at 9 o'clock. So just take this as your 10-minute warning, guys. Hour and a half, we got 3 droppers done. Normally doesn't take that long. But when the company's good and you're having a chat, quick glance up, yep. Listen to this song, Green and Red of Mayo. Yeah, they're still waiting for their All-Ireland win. We've Gaelic football over here, and there's a championship every year. And Mayo have come, they haven't won it since the 50s. And they've come second so many years, got to the final and bottled it in the final. The story is that when they won it in the 50s, there was a funeral, and they disrespected the funeral by beeping and singing and cheering as they went past this funeral. And they were cursed that they wouldn't win another All-Ireland match until every one of those players had met their demise. And I believe there's 1 or 2 of them still alive. So everybody is waiting for these guys to pop their clogs so they can get another All-Ireland. Now, some people say that it actually isn't true. It's one of those things that started, but it didn't actually happen. But who knows? Never going to let the truth get in the way of a good story. Yes, as we say in Ireland, the crack has been mighty tonight. That's Irish crack, not the white. Oh, I don't even know. Is crack white powdery stuff? There we go. Right. That's me done for tonight. Unplug. Let's put Leslie up in the background for a while. There you go, Leslie. It's getting there, Lee. It's getting there. I'm hoping now after about 2 weeks I'll have all the wiring done on here, and then it'll be a case of probably run it for a few weeks just to make sure everything's working before I start building the upper level, and that's when the fun begins. Top level is going to have a sort of folded figure of 8 I want, so there's lines going over lines. Am I going to run wires along the telegraph poles? No, because it's just one more thing to get snagged and get broken off and catch my hands on. And trying to get very thin wire, it doesn't always look right. Yeah, I see you discussing Worley in the chat. I don't want to get dragged into that too much, but there's a lot of things with shows putting them on, and Worley, putting on a show the size of Worley takes a lot of effort, and I think big round of applause for putting it on for the last 30 years and everything. And I think a lot of them were tired and they just didn't want, couldn't commit the time anymore, and trying to get people involved in doing stuff. And I find this problem not just in model railways, but I'm involved in another few other committees for different things around the town here. Trying to get people to give their time over and volunteer and do stuff is very, very difficult. A lot of the time now people are afraid because they're afraid of the liability. They think, someone will come after them and take their house off them if they do something wrong. A lot of the times it's not the case. You're protected. But the problem is when you do something like this, the more people you have, the less work it takes. And you could spend, this is only going to take an hour of my time over a couple of months, but yeah, it's just getting people to volunteer to help do things. That's always the issue. 7465, try it, do it. Yeah, you may make a mess of it, but when you make a mess of something, you learn something. And then you learn how to do it better. And you will find as you're building a layout, you will start off at one end, and by the time you work your way around, you'll have got better, that you'll start doing the stuff that you first done to improve it. We all make mistakes, we all break things, we always mess things up, but that's part of the fun of model railways, is learning, increasing your skills. Don't be afraid to do anything. Give it a go. There's loads of YouTube videos on most of the things. Give it a go, see how you get on, and you will learn and you will improve with time. You're not going to get it right first time unless you're very lucky. Some people have wonderful modeling skills, but practice makes perfect. I was told I'm a mess, not sure how that could be cleaned up and done much better. Yeah, that's exactly it, Digger. Like when I was younger, I was in the model railways, and then I turned into a teenager, and I discovered girls and going out and having a car and enjoying myself. And then I got back into it when my kids were smaller. We had a little layout up in the loft, and they used to come up and play with it. And of course, then my kids turned into teenagers, and then they don't want anything to do with mum and dad anymore. So you have more time when you're not playing taxi driver to do this sort of thing. Like I have time now in the evenings to do this. And I have the space now as well, which is the other thing. When the kids start flying the nest, you have the space. And you get back into it. Yeah, that's when you discover the fumes, gas fumes and perfumes. Oh, hi, Nicola. How you doing? That's my daughter. Looks like I turned up at the wrong time. See, Nicola knows I've got an eye on her bedroom, that once she moves out, I'll be moving my model railway into it. I can't wait for my tribe of leeches to become financially independent. Oh, you're like me and don't have kids and just want a big model railway. Yeah. All right, it's just turned 9 o'clock there, guys. So I'm going to call it a night now. I'm going to go and get my takeaway. So thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to hit the like button on the way out. Subscribe if you're new here. Video will be out tomorrow on the first bit of wiring on the layout, followed by video next Friday, which will be on the old jig from Scenic 3D. Do check them out. Really good. So thanks for tuning in, everyone. It's great to have a chat on a Thursday evening with you lot. I'll be back here next Thursday, hopefully, 7:30 UK Irish time. So take care, everyone. Enjoy your modeling over the weekend if you get up to stuff, or if you don't, behave yourselves, and I'll see you all next week. Take care, everyone. Bye.